Yo, yo. Happy to be back.
Señores y señoras, nosotros tenemos más influencia con sus hijos que tú tienes, pero los queremos. Creado y regado de Los Ángeles. Juanas Adicción.
Goddamn radio, hum along with me, along with TV. Oh, 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 oh no. Imagine that. What a ride. How's everyone? I don't know how to start this. I don't know how to end this. I'm just gonna kind of like figure it out as the show goes on. First show back from a vacation after 717 straight days of broadcast and a weekend spent with other vinyl junkies that I find myself feeling emotional over as I think about it. I don't know if I'm overstating it, but that may have been like my fucking favorite vacation ever. It was pretty amazing to see everybody. There's so much to say, and I don't know in what order to say any of it. So you're going to have to bear with me. I made sure I did an edible, smoked a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that I'll get into my routine. I've not done things for a little while. Kind of nuts, man. It was better than I expected. Expected is not good. Anticipated. It's really quite incredible to be in a room with, what can be construed as 24 other strangers and feel 100% at ease with every one of them. It seemed like there was a little bit of a different mood on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which I guess was to be expected. You know, the Friday everybody kind of got in, and we hung out, and we had drinks. The suite that I had rented out for the occasion was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. It was massive. It had enough space for all of us. They didn't have a turntable set up properly, but we managed. I wish we could have done a little bit better there, but whatever, we managed. Just not anything that was massively expected from them, but Friday saw everybody come in. Let's see, how do I do this? No, why don't we start at the beginning, okay? Yeah, let's start at the beginning. I'll see if I can get this in. You guys realize that there's going to be stories for fucking ages now. You are part of the show. Those people that showed up, you're part of the show. I'm looking extremely forward to just knowing, to watching this develop now that we know each other the way we know each other after that weekend. It's going to make a difference. I'm already feeling it. Yeah, exactly. The lore is deepened. The love has deepened. The connections are absolutely deepened. It was amazing. So we'll start right from the beginning, okay? Leave Montreal. So I'm packed. Everything's fine, Now, when I go to the airport, I figure I'm going to San Francisco, correct? So I figured I'm going to California. I didn't bring a jacket. I brought a sweater, thankfully. But I didn't bring a jacket, didn't bring a pair of long pants, pajamas. I had to leave home at 4:30. No, I had to leave home at 3:30 a.m. in order to get to the airport on time. Because of the whole gingivitis thing, you kind of have to get there early because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what hold up. So I've never missed a flight, and I never want to miss a flight. It would stress me the fuck out. So I got there nice and early, right? So I reserve a Uber the night before. The night before, I reserve an Uber. 4:30 a.m. or 3:30. No, 3:30 a.m. I think. I forgot what time it was. No, it was 4:30 a.m. So I'm getting all the messages that Uber sends. Yes, your ride has been confirmed. All this, right? At 4:30, yes, your ride will be coming between 4:30 and 4:40. All of this. 4:40, I get a fucking message. We're very sorry. We could not find a driver in the area. Porca Dio. My fucking flight leaves at 7 o'clock. It's 4:30. I'm at home. There's no fucking nothing. Stiffed. by Uber. Last minute. I didn't even expect. My wife, get a taxi. It's like, what? I can't afford to fucking make another mistake over here. It's just, honestly, after so many years, how do taxis work? Are taxis still a thing? I'm asking this as a serious question. Are taxis still a thing? Because I didn't know. So I tell my wife, listen, I gotta drive myself to the airport. You gotta come with me. So she's fucking smashed out of her head. I wake her up in the middle of the night. Sam, call a taxi. It's like, no, I'm not taking a chance with a fucking taxi, because if there's no taxi, then we just wasted another half an hour. I gotta know that I get there on time. So we drove to the airport. Everything gets right away. It's like right away, I'm one of these guys who sees these things as fucking omens. It's like the fact that this Uber didn't come means that God doesn't want me to go to San Francisco. Maybe I shouldn't get on the plane because it's going to crash. My head goes to these places. So, I get on the plane. Everything's fine. Everything's beautiful. Whatever. Right? Get to San Francisco, layover in San Francisco. Anyway, a bunch of fucking layovers. Get to Vancouver. That was the longest one. It was Montreal to Vancouver. Get to Vancouver, and I certainly don't say this in any type of racial way, simply as a fucking observation. There are so many Oriental people at the Vancouver airport, I could not fucking believe it. Like, there were a ton of Oriental people there. Now I know that, like, Vancouver has a lot of, a lot of Oriental population. I knew this. I always knew this. Asian, yes. Asian. Okay, thank you. Dudes, Asian. That's what I mean. It was amazing. So I kind of saw it for the first time. I've never been out west, which I plan to fix at one point, because I'd certainly like to try it. Well, fuck, how am I supposed to know, dude? Oriental people, Asian, I mean, what, you're going to take offense by it? You should probably, like, leave if you're offended. Use a fucking word. You don't use it properly. Jesus Christ. Get a grip already. From there, Vancouver to San Francisco. San Francisco to fucking wherever it is that I went. Fresno. Right? So I know that Nelson's picking me up at this point. Alright. He picks me up. The airport in Fresno is the tackiest fucking thing you've ever seen in the world. It's an absolutely horrible airport. The only good thing about it is that it's so small, nobody goes to it. So you fucking come in and out like in 2 seconds. Your bag right away, boom, you're gone. You waste no time whatsoever. But it's kind of a shithole airport. So I'm walking by, they're telling me, hey, make sure that you visit the zoo here in Fresno. And like there's a big plaster hippopotamus in the corridor as you're fucking walking to go get your baggage. I'm serious. I'm completely fucking serious. And they have like all these fake trees, and what they did is they created a little bit of a mini zoo in the middle of the airport. And that's supposed to like make you want to go to the real zoo for real. Definitely the star of the show was the plaster hippopotamus. That was very, very good. Yeah. So, and you go in, and like the big thing also is the casino. And they have these ads, right? Trying to advertise their casino. Come and visit in the casino. So they ad like about a minute long. And I observed that during that minute, they just showed a bunch of people winning. And we all know that's not very realistic. Come here to win money. So right away, yeah, Chachansky. Dude. Did you see the ad in the airport? It's fucking horrible. Like everybody is over the top fucking thrilled. Everybody in that ad won. Everybody. So finally we get out. Nelson is fucking Charger. What's the name of that car? Is this called a Charger? He's got one of those cars. 8-cylinder, fucking dark. Alright. He comes out. I'm super happy to see him. He's my boy. Nelson's the best. Nelson's a lifelong friend as far as I'm fucking concerned. You know? And I knew that would be. To me, the guy's family. Alright. So I'm about to get to the car, and the windows are completely tinted. Completely fucking tinted. His car looks like a car that Spacks drive. Complete fucking Spack, this guy. It drives smoothly. So the window rolls down. Just zzz, electric window. Zzz. The window rolls down, and I see somebody there. Now, this is not fucking working for me. It's not computing at all, because the person that I see in Nelson's passenger seat is Mosley. Mosley lives near fucking Blumpkin. They live all the way in fucking Saratoga. They live near me. Now, I've never met these people for real, so I can't confirm. I'm looking at him, and it's like, this can't fucking be. What's it? It can't fucking be. I mean, I thought maybe it was like Nelson's brother-in-law, which would have made perfect sense, because the brother-in-law is a patron. He's seen me. He's hung out. So that would have made perfect sense. But it's like, this isn't Nelson's brother-in-law. This is fucking Mosley. I was completely fucking stunned. I'm like, Mosley? He said, yeah, it's me. I couldn't fucking believe it. And they kept this from me, but supposedly, and I found out like that, and that's the way it is that the vacation started. Mosley's there. I was over the moon fucking thrilled to see him, because it was just a plus that wasn't expected at all. Turns out he was working in California the week before. And, the timing was there. He was off by about 4 days. So he said, no, I'm going to do what I can to make this happen. So what he did is he rearranged his schedule so that he can spend some time there and hang out with us for a few days. So he got into Fresno on the Sunday and hung out with Janice and Nelson. Before, and I had no idea about any of this. Shows up on the Sunday, and on top of that, there were a bunch of people in Zoom. They had Zoom on. And everybody knew but me. I'm still not completely fucking processing that whole thing. Nelson said it. It's like it's Windows Explorer trying to load. It was just loading. It wasn't making any sense to me. So the dude basically rearranged his schedule so that he can hang out with us. So the cherry on the top of everything came at the beginning of the trip. I got to spend fucking 2-3 days with Mosley, with Delnicki, that I wasn't expecting to do. So that made me really fucking happy. Like, it made me massively happy to know that I can hang out with him. He's exactly what it is that I thought. Fucking annoying. So, it's cool. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well look, dude, you're hanging out, right? So it's not just me and Nelson, because that's what it is that I thought. Me and Nelson. And I was fine with that. I wasn't going with any type of expectation. I went there to chill out. That's all. You know? We didn't have to fucking jump through hoops. We didn't do any of that shit. We hung out. That's it. So, now everything's a lot better. It's like, well, fuck, I get to hang out with Delnicki. This fucking dude. He made steaks. He made tri-tip. Porco Dio. We go a little further. This was the day after. We go a little further. Fucking Alanis lives nearby. I don't know this either. Alanis lives nearby. Fossil hunter. So, it's like, Nelson, do you mind if she comes by? We gotta make this happen. So she came by on the Tuesday. So basically, the first day that I was there with Alanis, a.k.a. Hannah, a.k.a. Fossil Hunter, which I was not expecting. And I was there with Mosley, which I was completely not expecting. Janice was there, obviously the kids. And we had a little party. Dude cooked a bunch of steaks. Bunch of fucking steaks, and we just all hang out. We're in the back, and perhaps inappropriately, after 10 minutes of Hannah, Fossil Hunter, getting there, we're making jokes about how we're going to chop her up in pieces and stuff her in the trunk. Like, she meets us, and 10 seconds later, we're talking about, you're not making it back home, eh? and like, it was funny. It was funny. The first observation that I made, here's where it is that I give you my analysis about all of you. Mosley doesn't shut up. Mosley never stops talking. It's insanity. Dude, take a breath between words. I mean, this is not something that I was expecting. Okay, listen, he's engaging. He's kind of engaging. He's kind of funny. He's all of this. But he's also kind of fucking never-ending. Constant. He always had something to say. He had a comment about everything. And none of it was annoying. But it was very fucking obvious. This guy doesn't shut up. He's like the fucking donkey in Shrek. It's getting him to shut up is the trick. So he hung out. I did my level best to try to get him to come to San Francisco. He couldn't come. It's too bad because I really wanted him to come to San Francisco. Really, an enormous highlight for me was hanging out with Mosley. We're hanging out with Eric. He's exactly the guy it is that I thought he would be. We're going to see each other in Canada, July 1st to the 4th. That's the next get-together. He'll be there. Momo, his wife's going to be there. Blumpy's going to be there with the family. It's going to be a great party. Okay? And I got a pool, so we're going to do a pool party. The next day, the Thursday, we do the show at Nelson's house. How many of you caught that? Did any of you catch the show at Nelson's? How was it? I mean, for me, it kind of went the way it is that I wanted because I made pretty clear that I'm not working. I went there to fucking just hang out and have a good time. And if we're playing records, it's just because we did the Thursday thing so that we can prepare for the Saturday. Okay? That's what we did. And it turned out to be, for me, it was wonderful. I really liked it. I liked the vibe, and I very much liked the fact that I was not the center of attention. I very much liked the fact that I was just able to be a part of the entire thing. You know, when I get my show, I do my show, that's fine. I understand. You know, I'm the one who congregates all of us and brought this community together. Okay, I understand that. That's no problem. But it's just when I'm somewhere else, you don't need me to congregate anymore. We've already congregated. I'm done. You know what I mean? To me, it was more interesting to see you guys. And fucking Nelson was a champ. Dude's foot was all fucked up. Nothing stopped him from fucking moving the records, though. Nothing. He loved it, I think. I hope. You know? Doing a show at his place was fun. I really enjoyed it because he has a very different collection than mine. And he knows his collection. And I can absolutely confirm what I've already known. You know, what I always knew. He's got a really good record collection. Okay. So that was fun. That was fun to see him kind of like just do the whole thing and seeing that he was into it, like really into it. And it's like, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, when I saw how into it he was, like, yeah, well, this is very clearly, he's my friend. It makes sense that he's my friend. I get it. It's exciting to share music with other people, to just hang out. So yeah, it was awesome, you know? I certainly hope that it was good from your end. We left the mic on, so you got to hear a little bit of background. Janice started getting all self-conscious. She's like, oh, fuck, what if I talked shit about someone? Well, you know, you didn't talk shit about anyone. Everything was fine. And we all love each other, so. So that's the way that happens. Fucking Hannah shows up to the next one also. Fossil Hunter shows up the day after. She shows up, we go to the record store. She came to the record store with us. We went to Valoria Records. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play one of my pickups from Valoria Records. And I guess I'll continue the story there. I'll try to do this chronologically maybe. Am I going into too much detail, or is this the stuff that you came for? I love the stories. Personally, I love them. There are so many goddamn stories. Yeah, so hanging out with Fossil Hunter, hanging out with Hannah. Yeah. We're forever friends now. Every time I find myself there, I know you're there. Got to spend 3 days with her. Didn't expect it. And something that made me happy about that night that we were really that we broadcast from Nelson's house was I saw people get excited about music, and I wasn't the one initiating it. I saw people get as excited as I get excited about music outside of myself. It was amazing. I just observed this conversation. I mean, Hannah got along with everybody, no surprise. We all got along with each other immediately. There was no discomfort. I told you, making jokes about chopping her up in pieces 10 minutes after she shows up. You know, it was just awesome, just fucking really awesome. But at one point, I just noticed during the show that, like, Nelson and her are talking, and, like, she's getting super excited over the shit in Nelson's collection. This didn't make me jealous in the least. This made me completely happy. It's like, these are people that understand me. These are people that get it. I'm seeing me. And I'm always the fucking weird one for getting that excited about stuff. But she was getting excited. She was getting really, really excited over the entire thing. It was really great. So to me, that was my first indication. First day, before the weekend even started, before any of that started, there's just 2 people, and I just watched 4 people from this community, none of which met each other. Out of those 4 people, it was only me and Nelson that met each other. And it was comfortable from the very, very beginning. Janice came in, she meets her, acts like she's been there all along. Because I try to think about that. You're going into somebody's house, you know, maybe new people or whatever. No, man, it was awesome. It was just chill. It also made so that there was a lot of leftover steak, which means that I ate steak at Nelson's house 3 out of 4 days. Do you understand how fucking beautiful that was? 3 out of 4 days I ate steak. I had a beast fucking steak, a ribeye. A beast steak. The first day that we had the party. And then because there was leftover steak and eggs the next 2 days. It was absolutely beautiful. They had a bidet installed. This thing was a fucking disaster. I was happy to see the bidet. I was very, very happy to see the bidet. I was like, okay, these guys, you know, The Garcias have a little class. Everything sounded beautiful to me, right? Okay. So, I don't like shitting. I like shitting in my own house. I don't know if you guys are the same way. I don't like shitting in strange toilets. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't shit I don't shit in airports. I don't shit in airports. It's just me. They got it installed. I wouldn't say they installed it for me. They just installed it. So it was there. I was happy, right? Now I was backed up. My flight left at 6:40 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, I'm fucking panicking. I didn't take a shit all day. All day. So, it all comes out, you know? So I'm fucking all, like, massively happy. There. I gotta say, this isn't too fucking bad. I met some new friends. I got a bidet right away. Everything's beautiful. Okay, so I take a dump. Turn on the fucking bidet. The water's not working. The fucking bidet's not working. Now I'm very frustrated because shit's getting very messy. Things were very messy down there. I was okay with this because I expected a bidet to fix everything. I was very fucking okay with the whole thing. You understand? The fucking thing won't go. Now, if you go to the bidet, you know that if you open that thing, what's gonna happen? It's gonna fucking squirt shit water right in your face. So I'm fucking terrified of her bidet now. Because it's like, I want this thing to work. It's like, there was a little bit of a horror show there. I had to fucking clean up. But I don't want to open the little window because I know I'm going to get squirted right in the fucking face. So I made sure that the water's off and I opened the thing up and down. Opened the fucking thing, you know? So it makes us like, okay, well now if I loosen it up a little bit, it's going to work. Okay. So I sit back down. By this point, things are even messier because I've walked around a little bit, so things got a little buttery. They got buttery. So already I was not in a good mood. I go to the fucking thing. I turn it on. The water works. The problem is the water is fucking shooting away about 2 inches away from my asshole. My bidet is fucking perfection. My bidet shoots a fucking jet right up my ass. It actually fucking opens it up. It's like a little fucking tiny enema. It's perfect. I expect this kind of precision. Instead, this thing is fucking shooting water up the small of my back. So here I am with a fucking dirty asshole, 2 inches north. The bottom of my t-shirt is getting all wet because the bidet's fucking cleaning the lower back. I had the cleanest lower back at the Garcia's house that night. Did I have it in cleaning mode? I had it in every fucking mode possible. It cleaned. It cleaned my t-shirt. It didn't clean my ass. It cleaned my t-shirt. So, the Garcia's bidet was a bit of a disappointment. It wet my clothing. Okay, what's self-clean? I did notice it was a self-clean. You hear this guy? How about if I tried every setting? I tried every setting, believe me, I promise, listen to me. Does it sound to you like I'm lying? I tried every fucking conceivable combination over there to make that bidet work. And when it worked, what happened? I fucking took a bath instead of washing my ass. Your bathroom gave me a shower. Cleanest lower back in the area. If I had a fucking tramp stamp, it would be glistening. That's how clean my lower back was. And I tried real fucking hard to get Alanis there too. Fossil Hunter, I wanted her to come pretty bad. She wasn't able to make it. You made a mistake. It was a good time. We haven't even gotten to San Francisco yet. I'm kind of guessing that you came for stories anyway. I got stories. I'm not going to do any show and tell with the records other than what it is I'm going to play for you, because there's too many. Go check the archive. Go take a look at what I've added. There's an insane amount of new records in there. I literally spent all day for about 14 hours, 12 hours doing nothing but cataloging and cleaning records. I don't know, man. I'd have to count, but like 60, 70, like that many? How's that? That many? Yeah. More. 2 Expedit shelves. How's that? 2 Expedit shelves. I'm going to talk more about the records, but it's like I said, I'm not going to do show and tell. What it is that I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the story of the record sprees, and whatever records come up, and what it is that I'll try to do is play it in between, as well as your requests. Okay. So this was one of the records that I received. By the way, this one here, this Jane's Addiction record, was given to me by Tobias. I'm pretty sure I'll talk about it later, because we're not up to that part of the story yet. Tobias is awesome. This is the record I'm going to play for you. This is a record from a band called The Electric Indian. Who are the Electric Indian? No fucking idea before I bought the record. We went to the local record store there that I've been to before, Valoria Records. He's not open to the public. Basically, you have to go by appointments. That said, I think it's probably a safe bet that Nelson's his best client. Nelson's a real one, man. During all of this gingivitis, while all these stores were struggling to to stay afloat, Nelson was buying $50 gift certificates from there every week to keep him around. That's the kind of guy Nelson is. So, in other words, whenever it is that he brings somebody, I'm pretty sure that he is absolutely most welcome. Besides, he knows that he buys a ton of records. So what it wound up being is we wound up getting like a 2.5 hour shopping spree. We had the store to ourselves. It's not a big store, but we had the store completely to ourselves. And Hannah came along. And that was awesome. I think it's the first time that Hannah went record shopping. Or not, maybe not the first time, but she doesn't even have a turntable yet. What record did I put in your hand there? What records did I get? I told you to pick up a record. She was in the dollar bins. So she picked up some Herb Alpert and some other stuff. And there was one $5 record that I told her to pick up. Glenn Campbell. I told her to pick up actually, I'm going to play it now because of that. There was a copy of Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy, for $5. Like an original. And it's like, look, I know you're fucking with the dollar bin, and considering you're just starting your collection, that's what you should be fucking with. Don't spend a lot of money at the beginning. Don't. Fuck with the dollar bin. Make sure you like it. I saw this $5 record, and I thought, no, listen. Just, if you have to spend $5 on a record, please buy this record. Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy. And she did. But this was one of the first records and one of the things that I found most interesting. I saw it, Kimosabe is what I saw. I thought that was the name of the band, but it's not. That's the name of the album, and the band is called The Electric Indian. When I listened to it, like I saw it, I found it interesting, and I asked the guy in the store to play it. So when I heard it, I immediately liked it, picked it up right there. Tell me what this sounds like to you. Let me know what this sounds like to you. Because when I heard it, and when I read, like when I entered it into the catalog and everything, what I noticed is that I was completely off. And that's not such a bad thing at all. I'll talk a bit about the record a bit. Okay? But, yeah, this was one of my early picks from Veloria Records, which I absolutely loved. Electric Indian. The album is called, what's it called? Kimosabe. The song I picked is the first song on side 2, Geronimo.
Looking back
Here's a record that Nelson gave me. Didn't know I was getting it. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. It is finally mine. right? I mean, that's an essential record for me. That's like hip-hop roots. Considering I'm a huge Herbie Hancock fan, this one's been evading me for a long time. I guess what winds up happening when you're around enough record nerds is that you talk about the records that you just can't find. You know? You'd be surprised, man. People remember. People remember this stuff, and you wind up getting it. I mean, that's what it is that I wound up doing with a lot of the records that I brought for the weekend. I listen to what you guys have to say, and I try to make sure that I get the right stuff to you, you know? So it was an enormous pleasure to give a bunch of you records. Now, you gotta think that we haven't even gotten to fucking Gary yet. There's stories, guys. There's stories. I'm making sure that I get good and high for this whole fucking thing. One thing that I used to get from many of you during the entire San Francisco thing was, you know, people kind of asking me what I think, you know, that kind of thing, you know? And my response for the most part was, I'm not thinking right now. This isn't the fucking time to start breaking this stuff apart. I'm right in the middle of it. So I just kind of like spent the entire weekend absorbing, the entire weekend absorbing the whole thing, you know? But let's see how much of it I can get in today. I guess what I'll do is maybe start talking about us making our way to San Francisco. We got in on the Friday. The Friday had a little bit of a vibe to it. Yes, it did. It had a little bit of a vibe to it. A good vibe, though. I really liked it. But I feel like the 3 days that we were there had a bit of a different vibe, each of them. The Friday basically saw a bunch of us come in at different times, spend long hours traveling. Most of us came in tired, all the rest of this stuff, right? But the Friday thing was really about just kind of like meeting people for the first time and getting some drinks, you know? So everybody, what we did is we agreed that everybody would come and meet at the suite. And people started dropping in. It's like those of us who are on Zoom, we recognize each other immediately. However, there were a lot of people that I didn't recognize because I don't see them on Zoom. Now I see that that's kind of changed a little bit, and I'm hoping that a lot of you will join us on Zoom, okay? Because it makes a difference. But you know, we saw a lot of people coming in, and the first day you can see, you know, people were feeling each other out. But there was one thing that I found that I observed very immediately, at least from my perspective. It seems like, considering that all of you people didn't meet each other, and in a lot of cases you haven't even had the chance, some of you, to even talk over you know, the chat that we do here. Considering that there were a bunch of strangers meeting each other, there was a pretty immediate sense of comfort. The vibe was laid down pretty quickly. All we did is we went and get some drinks, you know? And that's where the stories start. So everyone's coming in, getting to meet everybody for the first time. Fucking Uma comes in and Brandon come in. And I liked those two immediately. But that was nice. Really spending time with them was really nice. But Gary, what's going on with Gary? All right. At this point, we have Incarnate, who comes in also. Incarnate, this guy was the champ of the fucking weekend. He really helped a lot, and I mean, I'm going to tell a whole bunch of it. But so he comes in, you know, pretty early type of thing, and he brought in like an ounce of mushrooms. An ounce. I promise there was no fun. We did not run out of alcohol or drugs there. I was very proud of that. There was plenty. So he brings a bunch of mushrooms. And it should be said also that I wouldn't be surprised if he did all of you right, but he did me really right. The mushrooms were on him, which was very cool. And it's really nice how it is that the universe kind of comes back, because the mushrooms were on him. He wound up walking off with a fucking whack of bottles at the end of the weekend. So it always comes back. But really, it's just, they come in. All of a sudden, Gary comes in for the first time. And everybody at this point is kind of anticipating, when's Gary going to get in? What's this all about? Right? So Gary comes in. He looks fucking destroyed. In person, he looks destroyed. He's got this gut. He's got this gut. And he looks like his eyes are all fucking puffy. It looks like he hasn't slept in 14 or 15 years. So he comes in, and there's this cute little lady next to him, Miss June. Before this fucking guy even says hello to anybody. Sam, where's the mushrooms? It might have been the first thing that came out of his mouth. Sam, where's the mushrooms? Say, porco dio, fuck, have a drink, get comfortable, relax a little bit. Right away! This guy's fucking ready, he's off the fucking... Right away, he wants to get straight into the fucking drugs. I'm like, Gary, have you ever done mushrooms? This is 15 years ago. Right away. Like, this dude was fucking down to party immediately. The mushrooms were there. Okay. I did mushrooms too, all weekend long. So, I asked Miss June, you want mushrooms? She goes, yeah. Have you ever done mushrooms before? She goes, no. Okay. So I didn't give her a ton. I gave her maybe three quarters of a gram, or maybe a gram I gave her. Not a lot. Fine. Gary, I gave a gram and a half. I took 2 grams. This was the first fucking day we were there. Even me, I was discombobulated. If you remember when I did the show on Sunday, I hadn't slept. So it was crazy, right? So anyway, we get in. 2 grams. He's doing a gram. And we're going to walk to the bar. And you fucking see him completely hammered. He's hoovering these fucking joints like he's never seen marijuana in his life. It's like he was fucking speeding there. It's like, dude, this fucking weekend is a marathon. Relax. He wanted to get as high as humanly possible within the first 5 minutes of getting there. Total crackhead. Total fucking crackhead. And June, tiny. Yeah, all gas, no brakes. Exactly. June, all tiny, half of Gary's size. All kind of quiet. It's just, I can't believe we're not. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're here. That's all she was saying. It sounded like a broken record. I can't believe we're here. That's what she was saying. Wasn't saying a whole lot. Didn't know her too well by that point, because Gary's always the one who does the talking, right? Everyone's having a drink, loosening up. We're getting ready to go out. And Gary's just sitting there. And he's looking. At this point, he's sitting there and he looks like a little spaced out. He looked like a homeless person. Truth be told, he looked like a homeless person. He was just completely fucking spaced out. So, and then, Gary, are you doing okay? And he goes, And he does kind of like, yes and no kind of thing. What's wrong? So he's not feeling too good. At this fucking point, I'm there. You remember what I said the last time I said that I would just stop giving people drugs around me? It never finishes. And it's never good. Fucking Blumpy gets knocked out for what? 24 hours? More than 24 hours on a fucking edible. that to me is like a fucking pill. Nothing. Gary on 1.5 grams of mushrooms. Dude, Gary, you've done mushrooms, right? He's like, yeah, 15 years ago. I'm there, oh, fuck. And then he starts telling me about his diabetes. And all I'm thinking to myself is I worked 717 straight days. This weekend is going to end with the death of an old man on me. This man will keel over and die. That's all I could think. He's going to keel over and fucking die. June, you okay? Because I'm worried about June because she's half his size. June, you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm having a fucking blast. Her husband's about dead. Oh, yeah, I'm having a blast. Porco Dio, okay. So we start walking to the bar. We start walking to the fucking bar. Gary. Everyone's got to hold on to Gary. At this point, I'm already on it. It's like, listen, pizza boy, do me a favor. Stay near Gary. If he collapses, make sure he falls on you. That kind of thing. We were there, you know? And he starts telling me about his diabetes and his fucking pills. So, I'm thinking he might die. We go to the bar. They ask for the cards, everything. We get the cards done, no problem. He gets inside the bar. The whole fucking time he's just sitting there. Just no point drinking, no point anything. He's just sitting there. Completely fucking zonked out on these mushrooms. Completely zonked out. Like I'd never seen before. I thought I broke the guy. And I thought it's like, this could look bad. So we're just going, but I mean, on the other hand, June looked like she was having the time of her life, so I figure if she's not worried, then why should I be? She knows him better than me. She doesn't seem worried, so I kind of went there, you know? It was cool. At one point, he said, yeah, listen, Sam, we got to get Gary home. He's got to test his insulin. So yeah, we're walking there. That's the other part. We're gonna get to the bar. Okay. Anyway, there's a big group of us, like just a big fucking group. We just basically crowded the entire sidewalk. You know, even that first day, I think we were still like about 18 people, 20 people, that kind of deal. Now, that's where it is that I saw first my first display that showed me that I'm with the right people. Like we're friends, man. We're friends, and it's like I knew. It was just everybody over the weekend basically just took on a role. Everybody did their little part. It was amazing. Okay, but that's where it is that we start seeing it, and Janice was there, so she kind of like right away she kind of goes into that. She didn't even ask. I mean, it wasn't even asked. It wasn't asked of her or anything. And it wasn't expected. It should be said. It wasn't expected at all. I just think that people just take on their natural role, you know, and we're all good at something. So the eldest of fucking a family of 17 children, that's what she knows how to do. She knows how to take care of shit. So she did a head count that first day, 22, and more showed up after. So yeah, we were 24 people that weekend. We're going down now. I don't know anything about San Francisco. You realize nothing. And I discovered right away, within a minute of walking out of the hotel, we're walking around. And Janet's in front. Janet's like the fucking mother duck, and she's got all the ducklings behind her, okay? So I was just behind her because I don't know where the fuck I'm going. You don't want me leading anything. It's a disaster. I promise I'm not the guy. So I'm just like right behind Janice, and we're just kind of like hanging out, right? Janice steps in this big pile of dog shit. Fucking massive fucking pile of dog shit. And like fucking slipped. It was like a really greasy pile of dog shit. So she fucking slipped. Her fucking shoe slipped in it. So everybody that passed by could see that, like, there's just like the pile on both sides of the shoe. It was massive. The pile on both sides of the shoe, plus the step in the middle, and the fucking skid mark where it's like her shoe slid on the shit. And I'm right behind her, and I just fucking missed it. I was laughing. I was fucking laughing my ass off. Within 2 steps, she gets into the fucking plants on the side over there. She starts scraping her feet in the planters. She's just off to the side fucking scraping the shit off her shoe in the planters. All of us laughing like you wouldn't believe. So that's how it is that I learned that San Francisco has a very big problem with dog shit on the sidewalks. I found out and I managed to fucking stay away from them this entire time. There was so much dog shit. What the fuck? I mean, other than that, the city's massively clean. It's really a clean city. But there's dog shit everywhere. Yeah, that's why you slipped, because she was wearing Doc Martens without any tread. So I fucking slipped. She was fucking basically surfing on shit for a little while. Funny like hell. Funny like fucking hell. Oh, dogs, I don't know, dogs, people, but fucking people shitting like in the middle of the fucking sidewalk. So that was one of the first things right away. We took a picture. Janice put out her foot, the foot that stepped in it. And Chris bent down to his knees so he can get closer to it and smile and point at it. We have a picture of this. From that time, I'm telling you, it was a minute. It had to be a minute, right, Janice, that we were out. It's like we were on shit watch for the rest of the weekend. And all you could see in San Francisco for the rest of the weekend, as you're looking down, is shit with a fucking streak. Everywhere there were piles of shit and streaks from people who stepped on it. Yeah, the homeless problem was a fucking drag. But hey, you know, it's that's another thing, I guess. So Gary had to be invited. So Gary, once we get there, we go to the bar, they check us, you know. Everyone gets comfortable. We had an entire section of the bar all to ourselves. Everyone just hanging out. So that's where we really got to know each other. Everybody got a little bit of finger foods and stuff like that, you know. Gary's got to get tested. His fucking insulin's got to get tested. So we got to send him off. How do we send him off? My friend Evan calls him an Uber. He gets there, everything's okay. Except he leaves his wallet in the fucking Uber. He leaves his wallet in the Uber with his vaccine pass. So he can't get anywhere. He can't fucking go anywhere. And his shit's gonna get mailed back. But whatever. I mean, listen. The walking around at their knees would have been completely fucked. It's crazy. He left his wallet in the Uber completely skied on shrooms. Completely. So what I discovered that weekend is that the badass in that relationship is June, not Gary. Gary ain't shit. Gary's a fucking lightweight. June, porco dio, the fucking energy she had, she was a little firecracker. Cocaine and amphetamines. She looked game for anything. That's what it is that I learned. Gary wasn't looking too good for a little while. I thought he was going to keel over and die. I was actually legit thinking this guy... Why doesn't he fucking tell me that he's diabetic and all these other things? I would have told him, stay home. So this entire time, it's like, I just invited my grandfather to fucking party with me in San Francisco. And I may be the one who kills him. Did I get a haircut? I got a haircut and I got my beard trimmed, yeah. The Zeppelin Hotel did not have bidets. So that first time, that was the first day. After that, basically, Saturday was the day that we went out to record shopping. Everybody kind of went out for a big old breakfast. We'd met everyone. And we gave records to each other. I mean, I know that everybody kind of like traded records type of deal. But the amount of records that I got from you guys is completely ridiculous. We're going to be hearing a bunch of it. Gulch, Zeal and Ardor, God's Hate, fucking Chubbs gave me that. Dorian, Spelling Ghoul. He gave me these crazy good records. Chris, was it you who gave me the Deep Purple? Made in Japan. I mean, Death Grips records, Clipping. That's going to be coming up soon. Otoboke Beaver, which I listened to today and I loved. This Japanese band. Dead Weather, which Roxy gave me. The Billie Eilish Live to Acetate thing, Live at Third Man, which Gary gave me for my daughter Sophia. It's all in the archive. And we're going to see what we get to play there. You guys have already picked a bunch of it, so I'm sure more stories are ahead. I don't feel like forcing the issue. Let's just vibe. What I'll do is I'll play you a couple of records that I got through you guys. Okay. Pizza Boy gave me a bunch of these records here. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy, Orion. Here, let me try something, okay? I'm going to try using the camera as a second camera and see if I can use it as a close-up camera so that you guys can see the albums I'm talking about a little better. Having this second camera has proven to be kind of cool if I can get it to work proper. There you go, look at that. Hold on. Right? Orion. This dude is, I don't know if any of you have seen this. This is like Sun Records. He has 3 or 4 records, and I got 3 of them through Pizza Boy. This is on Sun Records. A dude who came out in the 80s, early 80s, and his voice, his claim to fame was basically sounding so much like Elvis that he actually started you remember for those of you who were around in the 80s, you probably in the 70s you remember when Elvis died, right? And then in the 80s you remember there was this entire thing, Elvis isn't dead, Elvis is still alive. A big part of why that was happening was this dude here, Orion. Because his voice was very much like Elvis Presley's. And of course Sun Records, who put out the original Elvis Presley records and were all about selling records, certainly did nothing to quell the rumor. So I'm going to play you a track from Orion. I now have 3 Orion records. Fucking thrilled about it. And after that I'm going to play you this. This is Clipping, right? Who gave me the Clipping record? The Clipping record was either Chris or Roxy or Chubbs. This one was Chubbs? Yeah, if you guys can remember, this is Death Grips. Yeah, that's what we're going to listen to. If you guys can kind of just keep a note of who sent me what, because I'd like to remember all of this. What I do is I put in my notes in the Discogs. When I enter the archive, I put in the notes where the records came from. So we're going to listen to some Clipping. We're going to listen to some Orion and see where else we can go. Tell me if you recognize this song. Oh, another really cool thing about this record. Another really, really cool thing about this record is all of these records, all 3 copies of these Orion records are yellow. Now this is way before the fat of colored records. So it's not like you would see colored records too often type of thing. So all three of these records are gold. Give this a listen. Oop, let me put up the volume.
This thing called love, but I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, well it cries and it prays all night and it swings, it jives. Shakes all over like a jellyfish, kinda like it. The crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. She leaves me in a cool, cool sweat. I gotta be cool, relax, get hit, get on my tracks, take a back seat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. Gotta be cool, relax, and get hit, and get on my tracks, take a back seat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. 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 Crazy little thing called
We know trash, we know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash, we know trash. We know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash,
I'm float trash, poker fucking polygraphs. My dirt so baked, man, man straight after each take to say I pass. That trash, I'm trash. Kind you mind to trade for cash. You're trash, born trash. Are you close? All I see is more trash. Me a more.
We know trash, we know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash, we know trash. We know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash.
No dang shit. I was over there for this whole shit. Tasting my black bliss. Fuck who I was in. It might have from a lack of progress, specifically the process. But this look more me elixir. My blood's real shit, sir.
We know trash, we know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash, we know trash. We know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash.
No touch 60 vote, Vino trash. Low folk, I'm casting shit, Vivo ass. From upper mid to being repossessed.
Face down, trash, he gets trash. We know trash, we know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, he gets trash.
Sodom, mama, steady, fallout, mercury, confetti, ebony skies, I died already. Liquor store, counting pennies, I'm in motion. Do you savvy? I exhume cause it relaxes. What you think about that? Don't fight it. Smell me though, fuck it, quiet. Cyclone in a Gore-Tex shell, audio input for my spell. So what for what? The 60 plug, long as my smoke screen's holding up. I hold this down like I contrast, still taking from shade on flat. So shade tree makes me laugh. Every time you reply, that's fine.
We know trash, we know things don't last, never last. When we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash, then we know trash. We know clean don't last, never last when we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash.
Glance straight to the sand like breast off that fuck stress cause they can't compress. Extra bump, this shit is sex. Decrepit sex shit. I got something for this orchids.
We know trash, we know clean don't last, never last when we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash, then we know trash. We know clean don't last, never last when we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash, then we know trash. We know clean don't last, never last when we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash, then we know trash. We know clean don't last, never last when we load trash, we upload trash. Face down, trash, we get trash.
Just a scar under my eye. I swear I got from crying. Where I was born, it don't matter. There ain't no going back. I have no home to take you. I'll never dream like that. Watch my cigarette smoking on itself. Sit and watch my cigarette.
Giving bad people good ideas. I keep giving bad people good ideas. I keep giving bad people good ideas. I keep giving bad people good ideas.
Just control, dismantle, bust, operating man is my best. Russell knew the dust, dragon, tracer, ultimate, fighter. Ask the one that made that matter, it's like that I say, what? Who we going after? Fuck them. I'ma have to fuck them over and the close the shows up. Now, this what you wanna bet, bitch. Think that Owen next shit. We didn't know my driveway.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to enjoy a lot about this show with your requests is that you guys are requesting stuff that you gave to me over this weekend. So the stuff that we heard right now is all records that were given to us. The Dead Weather was Roxy. This was Clipping, right? Oh no, this is Death Grips. Who did who gave us Death Grips? I'm glad that I'm able to put this all in order now. I want to know. We bought a ton of records. At one point on the Saturday, it was one of like the peak moments for me. The Saturday night was absolute fucking insanity. It was just Saturday, the whole day was, to me, just about as perfect as you can possibly get. Everybody definitely got to know each other. We had a bunch of drinks at the bar on the Friday. The Saturday came along, and we had planned to all congregate at this breakfast place, famous for a killing. Somebody got shot there over some badly made eggs. So that's where it is that we had our breakfast. And honestly, I was kind of trying to think of how it is that I could do up the budget that you guys gave for us, right? So not only did we take care of Gary and June, but we had like a $1,300 budget, I think, which I, tried to make sure that I did the best we could with it. So we bought a ton of alcohol, a ridiculous amount of alcohol. And I bought, we got the mushrooms, we got all of that. But then, there was a certain amount of money left. And for me, I didn't want to do dinners or anything like that because dinners can get expensive. And if anybody starts drinking, then it gets really expensive. It gets completely untenable, right? But I wanted to be able to do something right. So what I did was I told people, show up for breakfast. Whoever shows up for breakfast, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to use what we have, thanks to you guys, thanks to all of the tips, to buy everybody breakfast. And that's what we did. So thank you to all of you. For all of us, we made our day. For all of us, I think our bill at the end of the entire thing was $365. Okay. I gave her $500. So I gave her a tip of $135 for the entire thing because we took over a good part of the restaurant. So and you could see she was so thankful. She thanked me over and over again, and it made me feel good to do that, to make somebody's day. Because there's a lot of people that, the service industry is a tough industry to work in. It felt right. It absolutely felt right. We'd done this kind of thing. It was there. She served, not me, but they served, like a whole bunch of them served us, We took up a big part of their restaurant. They made sure that they accommodated us all together. So I wanted to make sure that I did it properly. And, best way to do it is to do it as an act of community. So she got a great tip and it made her day. And it was all of us that gave it to her. So thank you. And we start going to the record stores. We were trying to figure out how to get there. So took a bus. At one point, we weren't sure how to get to wherever we needed to get to, Height Street. So it turns out we had to take these cable cars. Now, it becomes impossible, first of all, to fucking herd people. So me there, I'm not into all of that. We're not fucking tourists. Well, we're tourists, but we're not tourists in the sense that it's just, we're all a bunch of adults. We can all kind of do our own thing. So at one point, I see at this corner, this guy playing the drums. I'm just hearing some music. I'm hearing some funk music and stuff like that, right? And I'm hearing a drum. come in. Some funky licks. And there's this old black guy dressed in a suit, wearing a hat, behind the drum kit, and he's just fucking playing along to a bunch of tunes. Just completely funking it up. Now we're on the opposite side of the street, and everyone's talking about what we're going to do and which bus and all, and I couldn't care less about that, and I'm not good at that type of stuff anyway. So I did what I would normally do. What I did is I crossed the street and I fucking stood right in front of the guy and I listened to him play drums. Turns out the bus stop was right there, so a bunch of people followed me and we just kind of like listened to this guy play drums as we were waiting for our cable car to take us to our first stop, Amoeba. Then I hear a fucking megaphone. Only Jesus can cure you of your sins. Do not succumb to the pressures of marijuana and premarital sex. And there's this guy fucking blaring. He's blaring on this fucking megaphone. The fucking evils of sin and how Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the absolute fucking answer. So we got this fucking funky drummer going on one end. We're listening to this fucking disco funk happening. This guy's just playing, and it's beautiful on one end. And we got another, right across the street from all of this, is a guy with a megaphone talking about how what this drummer is doing is evil. We're all evil for fucking chasing fame on social media, like he fucking went right at it. Now this story got really interesting for me because I've never seen these guys in my entire life. But he was going by, he was talking about fucking Jesus. Oh, fucking Lord have mercy. I'm going, Jesus. Every time he went Jesus, I repeated it. Jesus. I'm not even on mushrooms at this fucking point. It just seemed perfect. I got a funky drummer on this side. I got this guy screaming at Jesus, so I decided to scream Jesus. I'm in church. This was such a fucking perfect San Francisco moment. So I'm just taking it in, totally enjoying it. Now, what I learned about this preacher and what it is that they do, at one point, this old man, this sad old man comes up to me, and he's trying to hand out these things. So he hands me this comic book. Oh, while the drummer's going there and another guy in the fucking megaphone screaming in my ears about salvation. All in the same fucking corner. It's all happening in the same corner. So this old fucking guy, he's all sad looking. He's trying to hand out these things. Nobody's interested. I'm the only one who took it. And it's like, of course I'm going to take it. I'm the only one who fucking realizes what comedy gold this is. Oh, but it got better, folks. It was much better than comedy gold because this person here, now what it is that I learned, okay, is the way they do this is he had people all around him. This guy that was fucking screaming into his megaphone about Jesus, he had people following him. Okay, one guy holding one thing for him, and one of the guys that was doing it was one guy that was passing out the pamphlets. He's the one who came to me. What I found out is that these guys are homeless. So this fucking Jesus freak pays homeless people to hand out the pamphlets and work with him. So this was going on. I didn't even know as it's going on. And he's fucking yelling about Jesus. So what it is that I thought is, it's very important. You know that I'm a very religious man. I thought that we would read the comic together. This is the comic that I received. Canyon Crossing. How will we ever get across? And what it is that we're trying to do is get across to God's paradise. God's paradise. All in comic book form. I can jump across. I've earned it. I've worked hard for everything I've got. I deserve it. The lesson here, folks, is he didn't make it across to God. The lesson here is that good efforts are not enough. The Bible says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. It's right in the fucking book, Romans. So, I mean, the comic book says it. It made me think. Splat! He thought he deserved it, and look at how he wound up. Splat! Dead. Let's move on. Let me try. I can make it. I lived a very moral life. I helped others all the... Good morals aren't enough. We are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags. Isaiah 64. Splat. He dies too. He never makes it to the glory of God. Good morals just aren't enough. So I'm learning things at this point with this comic book. Education and psychology aren't enough. I can do it. I'm well educated and I got life's answered figured out. Nothing can... Aye! Education and psychology isn't enough either. There is a way which seemeth right. What the fuck does it say, this fucking unto a man? But there are the ways... Oh, whatever. He dies. And everybody dies, you understand? Religion isn't enough either. You die also. And every one of them has a fucking little bit of scripture while you're reading the comic book. Well, if these guys can't make it, certainly I can't. I need help from the other side. And that's where it is that you see that the gap that everybody fall and died, the minute you start believing in God, a giant cross, a giant gold cross with Christ emblazoned across it shows up. And it just instantly goes right in the gap. It becomes like a bridge. The cross of Gesù Bambino, it takes you to the other side, to the righteous path of God. It's Il Gesù, and it's right here. I have proof. A homeless person was paid to give it to me. So, what it is that I learned later on is that these are actually a series of comics about Gesù Bambino. And that you can collect a whole bunch of these, if I understand perfectly. So, this is here my souvenir of San Francisco. This was one of the best times. This sounded like a good time, didn't it? Fucking funky drummer on the one side. He's like fucking playing these licks from Boogie Oogie Oogie. The other guy yelling at him on the other side saying, yes, music will lead you to Satan. Now you would think that it's over. Oh no. In the middle of that, like it was a fucking perfect sandwich. A perfect this was my San Francisco treat. In the middle of that, there's this homeless person that shows up, this woman. She was waiting for the bus. She had this kind of like hat with bunny ears on it that was fucking filthy. You ever see the movie? What's that movie of the kid who eats the spaghetti in the bathtub? And he's got those filthy rabbit ears? Gummo. Yeah, she had like fucking gummo ears on. They looked filthy. Okay? And she's walking around and she's got this fucking series of straps all around her. The buttons are all scumbobulated, so it's like part of her is dressed and part of it's not. So even though she's kind of like not naked, she has this cloth on her. Her fucking tits are sticking out. And I'm looking, it's like, oh, porco Dio. You have to see the size of these fucking nipples. These nipples look like fucking champagne corks. I couldn't believe it from like 15, 20 feet away. You can fucking hang a coat off of those things. And she's just walking around in the middle of San Francisco, right near the funky drummer, with Jesus guy on the other side. And she's just fucking her walking around like nothing's bothering her. Nothing is bothering her. Mostly clothed. But her nipples are fucking, both the nipples, poing, they're sticking out. I swear they looked weaponized. And we got it on tape. We got it on tape. Dino Girl got 17 seconds of all of this. And Roxy also got some tape of this. And I believe, I'm pretty sure because I saw the stills. I saw the stills. Oh yes. We got a picture of the nipples. You have to see these fucking things. Oh, dude. Those fucking nipples. It was like the fucking size of like a filet mignon. She had a fucking filet mignon attached to her breast. It was fucking massive. I've never seen anything like it. It was like a cow udder. Oh. So we have to do something with this video because this is very much part of our first trip out in San Francisco. This was the first thing that happened to us. I don't know who was there, But I was highly fucking amused by the entire damn thing. It's like, yep, this is why I came to San Francisco. This is exactly why I came to San Francisco, because I want this weird shit to happen to me. Yesterday, Janet stepped in about a kilo of dog shit. And it turns out it's something you got to worry about all weekend. Today, I got Funk versus Jesus, with a fucking homeless nipple lady in the middle as the referee. It was surreal. It was just so fucking surreal. And I don't know how to do this. It's just, I'm like, just please, somebody please record this. So Roxy did the deed. Roxy recorded some. I think Pizza Boy may have gotten some too. We have video of this sermon. We got video of this sermon, and we got video of the funky drummer and the homeless nipple woman. It's very, very entertaining. The first record we went to, the first record store we went to was Amoeba. It was incredible, incredible, huge record store. They actually had more used stuff than I thought they would have. So that made me incredibly happy. I picked up some real gems that I'm going to go through over the next week. But yeah, man, we got video. We got a whole fucking things. A whole bunch of things. And I'm glad that some of us got, captured it, because we plan to do something with it. What am I going to play you next? See what stories are attached. Okay. I'm going to play you Anton LaVey. Yeah, the Satan guy. The guy, the founder of the Church of Satan. I mean, of course I need to buy this. I was super happy to find it too. This was actually at the last record store we went to. How many did we visit? I think we visited 4 different record stores. Okay, the first one was Amoeba. Then we went to this little electronic store that sold electronica 12 inches, which wasn't really my thing, so I didn't get anything there. Then we went to Groove Merchant, which was good, small, well curated, but very expensive. Expensive, no doubt about it. But well curated. I didn't buy anything there. And then we went to the last record store, which was, to me, the best record store of all of them. A record store that Chubbs had looked up ahead of time, called Thrill House. This place, I'm not really sure how it works. It's supposed to be a not-for-profit record store that also operates a performance space and specializes in metal and punk. Now, it wasn't the metal and punk sections that excited me, but the dollar store sections. It was insane, the records that were in there for dollar store stuff. The big one that I wish I would have taken for myself, but I don't know who wound up getting it. I think Chad wound up getting it. Yeah, Chad. I fished out a copy of fucking Rush, which one is it? Signals? I fished out a copy of Rush Signals out of the dollar bin. It's insanity, the shit that was being pulled out of there. And I wanted to get a bunch of it. I got only a few of them. Yeah, I remember handing it to you, Chad. I got only a few. But there were so many there that I wanted, because I didn't have space for it. Like, I couldn't cram any more into my luggage. It's too bad, man. But yeah, Thrill House is actually not for profit, yeah. In any case, it's just the deals, especially for somebody who wanted to beef up their collection, someone starting their collection. The deals that were had there were the best ones that I found in San Francisco. It was my favorite record store. We showed up and we had to kind of wait for a little while because they had a show in the basement while we were there, exactly so. We went and get some drinks and waited for the record store to open. It's fucking freezing the entire time. She keeps the store door open and we're freezing inside. Even the fucking Chihuahua, they have a live-in Chihuahua in the store. Even the Chihuahua had a fucking winter coat on. After an hour, I had to build up the courage. Just like, look, I don't, do you mind if we close the door? I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch pneumonia if I stay in this any longer. I walked off with a stack, so we all bought records there. But yeah, it was one of those things that it was cool. Yeah, China was the name of the dog. And buying records together was cool. Digging next to each other was really cool. Talking about records. Being told, go to this corner, go to that corner. I tried putting records into people's hands as well. And now we've all met each other, Now we all have those stories, and one of the things that made me happiest, one of the peaks of the weekend for me was during the Saturday party, which absolutely went off. It fucking went off, man. Everyone was having a good time. There were a bunch of people that shroomed for the very first time. Good time all around. We had edibles. The edibles disappeared. That was probably the most popular thing. Out of everything that was there, the edibles, 4 tins of edibles disappeared. Like nothing. But at one point, as I'm watching all of this go on, I'm looking on the ground. And there are literally piles of records everywhere. Everywhere. There are records fucking everywhere. You got to imagine, there's 24 people there. Everyone came back with records. My stack was like this. Pizza Boys was about the same thing. Maybe even a bit more. Chubbs had a massive stack. Fucking Nelson walked off with everybody walked off with a massive stack. Plus the records that we came with, that we traded with each other. So there was this big trading stuff that was happening. That was cool. People were giving each other records exactly like I knew. And it was beautiful to see. It was really fucking beautiful to be a part of. Because as I thought during this entire time I was watching this and absorbing it all, so I can kind of put it into stories, and all I saw is those pieces of plastic on the ground and thought to myself, so much mojo is in this. Look, right now they're all in one room. There had to be more than 1,000 records in the room. There were a fuckload of records, man. 500 records, I don't know, between 500 and 1,000, something like this. Okay? They were everywhere. Like I said, for me, 2 Expedits cubes full is basically what I came back with. Some that I got from you guys, some that I bought for myself. But the thing that they all had in common is that they all had stories. They all had mojo. And we're all going to remember where we got them. And the act of doing this on live. We know we started late, but look, I mean, we're on vacation there. We're not going to start any faster just because, we have to do a show, The point is for us to be on vacation first and the show after, kind of thing. So, we started late because of that, because we got in late, had to eat, all the rest of this. But when we got in, it's just, it was so nice to not be somebody who had to put on a show, to just be somebody who's hanging out and listening to other people play their records and watching all of these conversations about art happening all around me. And it couldn't have possibly went any better. I saw all of this music being traded. I saw all this music everywhere, and it's like, these people are never going to forget these records. They're not going to forget this trip. The bonds that were made as we collected these records, played them together, had drinks over it. It's just, we're never going to forget it. And Saturday was exactly that. Saturday was absolutely beautiful. That was like the big night type of thing, and it was absolutely beautiful. There were a ton of us. There was nobody acting like pricks, none of that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, there was a big community spirit. People put in theirs. Everybody did a little bit. Nobody was a drag. It was just amazing. So, Now we got these stories, and now we got these relationships. Yes, Xenopop, I certainly got the posters. It absolutely sucks. Xenopop, John Mavrudis, super talented artist. And I got to know him through this, and he came by, and I wasn't there. I wasn't there for about an hour at an Indian restaurant that they went to. That was absolutely delicious. So Mavrudis came by and gave me some of his art. Check out these posters. And he gave me extras. So what I did is I took one of each and I put the rest of them out there for you guys to take. Some of you walked home with these, but look at this dude's art, man. Check it out. Right? Here, let's see if I can get a close-up. Check it out. All on really nice paper too. Now the reason I took this is because I'm going to be taking these posters and I'm going to be stapling them to the wall. I'm going to be using them to decorate the house. Yeah, they're really super clean, like ultra high quality posters, and he's made all of them, right? And like I said, he made sure that John made sure that he left extras so that all of us can have some, and then he gave me something a bit special, which I'm gonna show to you now. He asked me which artists I would want, so these are special. He gave me these, by the way, like I said, just so you know, John, I'm going to be stapling them to walls. I don't frame shit. If I start framing, my place is more like a fucking punk rock place, more like a record store than it is a museum. But it's a museum. It's just a dirty ass museum. But he gave me this They Might Be Giants poster. Very vinyl centric, as you can see. And this one here, which I really like, and I can't wait to find the perfect spot for. Check this, man. Yola Tango. So, I mean, they're nice posters. You know what I mean? They're really amazing posters, and I'm honored that you would make them. I'm honored that you would put enough aside so that others can enjoy your art too. Because what you wound up doing, you know how I spoke about the postcards didn't get done. I told you guys I'm a disaster when it comes to that. The posters didn't get done. Okay? So what wound up being souvenirs is the records themselves and these posters that wound up in a lot of people that a lot of people are going to wind up with. You know? Why don't I play you one of the records that I picked up at Thrill House? Actually requested at all. Requested to, hey, Eric Kluwer, look at you. Loved meeting everyone. How about some Marty Robbins later in the show? That's probably a good idea. Kluwer, listen to me. Don't use the YouTube Google thing for tips. Use this link for tips, because Google takes 30%. Fuck them. For nothing. Kavish. Eric Kluwer was there. This is the part of the show where it is that I like, where it is that I see all of you guys and what you come in. Eric Kluwer brought in a cake. I can't begin to tell you how much that cake was welcome, because we had munchies, we had like all the fucking typical alcoholic shit. The cake was the only sweet thing. So I dug into that motherfucker. And Nelson's house, can I say something? The food around Nelson's house, they have the Portuguese community there that I did not realize was as prominent as it actually is. He got these Portuguese pastries, which Janice says taste like pencil shavings, because Janice is, Janice is Janice. These fucking artisanal pastries, a dozen of them they got. I'm not doing enough steps. I'm not doing enough of this. The weight I put on this weekend because of these pastries and everything else. Oh, porco dio. Yeah, the Portuguese tarts are next level. That's exactly it. And they were next level, dude. So, what's the name of the record store with the dog? It was Thrill House. Thrill House. Eric brought actually also this really good beer that everybody seemed to ooh and ah over. like locally, there were a lot of us there that were beer guys that really liked beer and liked discussing it and everything. So there were some beer convos that went deeper than what I usually go with. And Eric brought some of the beer that seemed to be people liked. That came in this big jug. It was delicious. The Pride of Sonoma, whatever that is. But yeah, it was delicious, And I thought everybody kind of did bring in a little bit of themselves. Whether it be records, whether it be, a cake, whether it be a bottle of wine or something like that, everybody brought a bag of chips. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. Right? You go to a party and everybody's fucking cool. You don't have to worry about anything. You're getting along with everybody. The connections made are connections that are going to continue. It's very clear. So I'm going to play you one of these records and see what else it is that we can talk about. I got stories, way more. But Anton LaVey is what I'm going to play next. The founder of the Church of Satan. After that, I don't know what I'm going to play after that. Maybe some Mr. Scruff, Hot Chip. Play some tunes, okay? Check this out. Mr. Galata, thank you for your set, Dominic. Happy to see you. Some hot chip and justice coming up. Yeah! Definitely no diet this last week. John. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for everything. Our paths will cross.
In the middle of the night, there's just one thing that I can do to make me feel alright. The way I feel about you, darling, in the middle of the day. There's just one thing You got me working night and day.
Times indeed. Fun, fun, fun. And we'll have fun, fun, fun till your daddy took the chainsaw away. That was a fun set. Thank you, Dominic Galata. Nice to be here with you all. I promise there are a million other stories, and I will get to them as they come to me. There are really that many. It's kind of hard to believe. I don't know if you guys had the same experience like me, but I think I was happier yesterday and today than I was during the entire time. The afterglow thing is very real with this. It's so cool to see all of you now on Zoom, and it's a different thing. I fucking met a bunch of you. We've, shared records. It's a completely different thing. And it's awesome. And that'll continue, because we will continue doing this stuff. And the stories won't end. So, tune in and I'm sure I'll get to them. We got an entire week to do this anyway. One memory of Saturday that was really amazing, and I couldn't tell you what time it was happening. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention to the show other than listening to it, because we were listening to our own show. The show was, we had it on speakers and stuff, and we had Zoom going at the same time. So one of the most interesting parts of the experiences of the show, to me, that really kind of made me satisfied, very self-satisfied. It's like, yeah, I did this right. We were all playing our own record, so there was no DJ, so to speak. Whatever you wanted to have played, it got played, right? And at one point, we're listening to this record that my friend Evan picked up there. He and his wife, Sunshine, the girl that I talk about who probably has fairy wings? She's just completely fucking delightful. She was there. And they were delightful as usual. And they say that they make a point of getting something that's completely a surprise to them. They just buy the record, and the entire point is the experience. So if the price is right and everything, they'll pay themselves that experience, which I completely understand, right? The mystery record. They talked about the mystery record, and of course I understand that, because for me, mystery records are the best. Okay, it's what I did. I bought a mystery record. Mine's different, though. But the reason is I'm going to point it out. I wish you guys could see, you could remember the experience that I had. Some of you will. Okay, but as we were playing this really harsh record and listening to it, all of us having a drink, everybody's kind of into it just as much as any other record. Yes. What the hell did I call it? Drano something. What did I call it? Alt Drano? Something like that. And as that gets played, right after that, Drano Core, that's what I called it, Drano Core. It was pretty amazing noise, but noise. And right after that, as I was, I told you, there were piles of records everywhere, really all over the fucking place. It was a big suite and there were records everywhere. There's one that I kept going back to, that I just had to listen to. I don't even know who it belonged to. But I saw it there, and it's like, nah, I gotta fucking play this record here, because I've played it on the show so many times, and it just felt so right to play it. And as we were all laughing and enjoying ourselves during the noisier stuff, the minute the next one comes on, we put on Marty Robbins, everything gets fucking quiet. Everything. And everyone starts listening. Everyone's listening to the fucking words, the big iron. And it was amazing to me. It was so fucking amazing. Everyone was just, it's a story we've heard hundreds of times. We're like, he's going to tell us about the fucking story and the people that he killed. It was incredible. It was just so fucking cool. Just the contrast between this noise that I called the Drano Core and Marty Robbins, and it was just fucking incredible. And I don't have that record, because that record, the noise record, belongs to Evan. Needless to say, he really wanted it, and most of us wish we had it now. I don't know what the name of the artist is, and that's entirely besides the point. It was an experience that all of us enjoyed, and it was amazing. I found my own mystery record. I do mystery records on every time I shop. I do mystery records, basically. So this was my mystery record, which I found at what's it called? Thrill House? Yeah, Thrill House, the metal store. I paid $3 for this record. No fucking idea what it is. But, I mean, at $3, what do I care, right? If it's got a cover like this, generally it's like, okay, no problem. It's $3 fucking. The name of the band is Man the Conveyors. Upheld by Fear. $3. Easiest $3 you could spend. Okay. I'm going to play you what I got for those $3, and you tell me if it's money well spent. Well, if you think it's money well spent, I think it's money well spent. But check out my mystery find. Son, but I bought it. Money well spent.
To the town of Alfredo rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death.
His death.
There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. and the swiftness of the Ranger is still talked about today. Texas red not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped, and the Ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Yeah, you see, what's being described there? Eric saying that he had an entire conversation with Gary while Marty Robbins is playing. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. Gary's fucking cool, dude. He's the best. We all got to talk to him, and it was very much a good time. Fruit Snacks, are you a patron? That's important, you know. Chat's still for patrons. If you like what we do here, you can see that we have a lot of stories to share because many of us have now hung out together and broken bread together, had drinks, and shopped for records together, stepped in dog shits together. So many things. So many things. We nearly killed Gary together. So many things. So, I'm going to go and play some other records now. Okay? We're going to go decidedly in a decidedly metal direction right now because I got a lot of metal. And in terms of the gifts, in terms of like what you guys gave me for the archive and all, thank you, first of all. And secondly, we're set up with the metal, man. Chubbs and fucking, what's his name? Pizza Boy gave me a bunch of metal too. So we're going to be listening to some of that. We got some God's Hate coming up. Gulch. If you can show me the cover of Gulch, I'd like to see that. I don't know the covers quite yet. Zeal and Ardor is coming up, a record which I heard earlier today and just completely blew me away. And we're going to start off with this metal album that I don't even know the name of the fucking artist, but we played side one when we got it. Like on the Sunday morning, it was just me and Chubbs. No one had shown up yet. And we played some metal. And this was the metal that I played. This was a record that Pizza Boy gave me. And I immediately realized that it's amazing. Arch Spire. Yeah, I believe it's Arch Spire. That's the one. Okay, yeah, I'm going to dig that record out. Let's start there, all right? fucking awesome.
friends. Only our enemies leave roses. Violent lives ending violently.
The war has begun. Friends to burn under a dying sun. You can choose to bleed or choose to fight. Your mind makes right. There's no opposite. No filter war. No one can push you farther. Hit harder. True pain brings strength within. Weakness shatters unworthy men. Prisoners of time with another excuse. Victims of your own abuse. No opposite. No filter war. No one can push you farther. Hit harder. Face the facts. I see through the fucking act. I am you, and now I must break you. Waste your life and pay the price. Pay the price. Life is hard. Harder. Free. Building independent. Life of shit. Into the dying of the ground floor. Beat be eaten. Beat be beaten. Self-inflicted misery. No opposite. No suicide. Another fucking martyr. Face the facts. I see through the fucking act. I am true, and now I must break you. Waste your life and pay the price. Pay the price. Life is hard. Harder. Face the facts. I see through the fucking act. I am true, and now I must break you. Waste your life and pay the price. Pay the price. Life is hard. Harder. Face yourself. Your mind is a living hell. Trust me. Trying to the patience left to fight for you. You waste your life and waste my time, and now your broken soul is mine. Life is hard. Die harder.
Copyright Popo YouTubes. You want to hang out? Come join us on Twitch. We're still going. We ain't done.
That's the sound of the police.
See you on Twitch, YouTubes. Zeal and Ardor. You need to listen to this damn thing.